Welcome learners. In this previous video, we have seen introduction of sale or return transactions. In this video, we are going to see the first method of recording transactions under sale or return basis. Under sale or return basis, the accounts are recorded under three methods. The methods are classified on the basis of the frequency of transactions. Number one, recording when the number of transactions are few. The transaction may be rare. The second method is how to record the transactions when the transactions are frequent. The third method, recording the transactions when the transactions are most frequent. That means almost it will be a part of business. It will be a part of business. That means most of the transactions will be carried out under sale or return basis. In this video, we are going to see the accounting treatment under the first method, that when transactions are few or rare. Under this method, the transactions will be very rare or few. The frequency of transactions will be very rare. So under this method, the number of transactions will be rare. So in this situation, there is no need of separate method of accounting because the transaction will be very few. So if we follow separate method of accounting, means it will be waste of our time and also our effort. So under this method, no separate accounting system is followed. So the transactions under this method, that means the sending goods to customers for approval, will be recorded as actual sales, and adjustments are made later if necessary. If it is required, the adjustment will be taken place. Otherwise, it will not be taken place. Right? We will see the accounting procedure for each transaction. Right? First transaction, when goods are sent for approval under sale or return basis. I told already, under this method, the frequency of transactions is rare, so sending goods should be taken as sales under this method only. So here we are passing entry like this. So under this method, we are passing entry like this: customers account debtor to sales account. So this is actual sales entry as in the normal course of transactions, right? So here we should here you should note it down that the amount should be in the sales value. So the entry is similar entry as sales under normal course of business, right? The next one is second one is under this method, we are sending goods to customers. The customer will inspect the goods in his place itself, and he will decide whether these goods are approved or rejected. The first one is, first we will take if the goods are approved. The goods are inspected by the customer, and approved means here no separate entry should be passed here, because when the goods were sent, we took this as actual sales. So the entry for sales was passed. So no further entry should be made if the goods are approved. If you make any further entry, that will be duplicates. That will make error in accounts. When goods are rejected, then the goods may not be approved by the customer. Sometimes he may reject the goods. So when the customer rejects the goods, means what entry should be taken here? The reverse entry for this entry should be taken place. That's all. Because when we sent the goods, we took this as actual sales and passed the entry as sales. So here when the goods are returned, means the exact reverse entry should be taken place. So the entry is sales account debtor to customer's account. The amount should be same. So when the goods are sent, it is taken as sales. Then when goods are approved, no entry should be passed. And when goods are returned, the reverse entry should be taken place. So at the end of the accounting period, what are the adjustments should be taken place here? We will see that one by one. So at the end of accounting year, there are three situations. Number one, when the goods are approved. If the goods are approved by the customer, no entry should be passed, as I told already, because it was recorded as actual sales. So when goods are approved, no entry should be taken place. Second one is when the goods are rejected. When the goods are rejected, at the end of accounting year, the seller should include the cost of goods sent must be included in the stock of the business. So if goods are rejected means, even though the physical existence is with the customer, it will send back to the seller in future. So the cost of goods should be included in the stock of the seller at the end of the accounting period. Next situation is if the time is not expired but accounting period comes to an end. So given time is not expired but accounting period comes to an end. So in this situation, what are the adjustments are to be taken place? First step is we should cancel the original entry. If accounting period ends but if the time is not expired, means the original entry passed when goods were sent should be cancelled here, because it is not approved. We do not know whether it will be approved in future or not. So the entry should be cancelled by passing the reverse entry. So reverse entry is sales account data to customer's account. This is a reverse entry. Next adjustment is the goods should be added with the stock. Goods are sent to customers but still it is not being approved. In this situation, the stock with the customer should be added with the stock in cost price. So the cost value of the goods vested with the customers should be added with the stock. For this entry should be passed. The entry is stock with the customer's account data to trading account. Thank you. Kindly subscribe and like the video.